Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we celebrate the grand opening of our Daffodil International University Built-in Road Research Center. We are so thankful to so many of you who have been with us, fabricate your stapleware so that this way would finally come. The Built-in Road Initiative is known as Global Infrastructure Development Strategy adopted by the Chinese government in 2013. Bangladesh has increasingly been connected with China's economy through trade, investment, and cultural exchange during the last decades and so on. With that continuity, Daffodil International University has set up the DIU Built-in Road Research Center, which is the China-based first think tank in Bangladesh. The center emphasizes to establish a global research network of think tank on built-in road. It will closely cooperate with some research institute in conducting research under Built and Road Initiative. On this very beautiful morning of 28th of May, I, Dr. A.K. Mohsin, head of the Department of Business Studies and Deputy Director of DIU Built-in Road Research Center, would like you to extend my greetings and warm facilitation to all the guests from different diplomatic contexts and academics and from different institutions. I would like to express my gratitude and warm welcome to all the Faisal programs from the overseas as well. So we'll start this program with the national anthem of Bangladesh and China. I would like to request everyone to stand up for their seat for a tribute. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Okay, I'm again requesting you to stand up a bit. So we're going to play the national anthem of China. Please be stand up, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much. Please be seated. Okay, at this very beautiful morning today, we have with us our chief guest, His Excellency Mr. Dilip Barua, former Minister, Ministry of Industries, Government of Bangladesh, and he's also chairman of Bangladesh-China Silk Road Forum. And we also have with us our chief guest of honor, His Excellency Mr. Jiang, former ambassador and vice president of China People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries. We have with our guest of honor, His Excellency Mr. Munshi Faiz Ahmad, former ambassador of Bangladesh to China. We have with us our program chair, Professor Dr. Muhammad Lutfur Rahman, Vice-Chancellor, Daffodil International University. We have with us our special guest, Mr. Liwen, Counselor, Cultural and Educational Affairs, Embassy of People's Republic of China in Bangladesh. We have with us Mr. Tu Anbo, Executive Vice President, Jiangxi People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries. We have with our special guest, Professor Dr. Dang Hui, President, Jiangxi University of Finance and Economics. We also have with us our chairman of Daffodil International University, and he's the first vice president of the Association of University of Asia and Pacific, Dr. Amdi Sabur Khan. We have with us our Professor Dr. Abdur, Vice-Chancellor, International University of Business, Agriculture and Technology, IUBAT. We have with us Mr. Mostaque Hasan, NDC, former Director General, Export Promotion Board, former Chairman, Bangladesh Small and Cottage Industries Corporation, BSCIC. We have with our special guest, Ms. Yang Wang Anandi, Director of Bangla Department, China Media Group. And we also have with us Shanta Maria ma'am, just on behalf of her as well. We have with us our special guest, President Chinese Enterprise Association in Bangladesh, Mr. Ka Qiangling. Also, we have with us Mr. Han Jiangshang, with us from Chinese Enterprise Association in Bangladesh as a special guest. We have with us our Professor Dr. Wu Jiayang, Dean, School of International Trade and Economics, Jiangxi University of Finance and Economics. We have with us Shan Zhangshan, General Secretary, Jiangxi People's Association of Friendship with Foreign Countries. We have with us Dr. Yang Hui, Chinese Director, Confucius Institute at University of Dhaka. We have with us Mr. Monwar Hossain, Vice President, Dhaka Chamber of Commerce and Industry, DCCI. We have with us Mr. Han Jiangshao, I already mentioned that. We have with us Mr. Misbal Ferdos, cardiologist for Hospital Beijing, Vice President, Asian Society of Cardiology. We have with us Mr. Muhammad Ali, Founder and Executive Director, United College of Aviation Science and Management. We have with us Wing Commander Mr. Masuduzzaman, Vice Principal, United College of Aviation Science and Management. We have with us Mr. Rizal Karim Lotus, President, Diplomat Correspondent Association, Bangladesh, DCAB Executive Editor, Daily Sun. We have with us Mr. SM Rashidul Islam, General Secretary, Economic Reporters Forum. Thank you very much. Moving right along. Now, I would like to invite the Director of DIU Belt and Road Research Center and Dean of the Faculty of Business and Entrepreneurship, Daffodil International University, Professor Dr. Muhammad Masoom Iqbal, who is efficiently leading the business education of this university. So before going to start this welcoming speech, I would like to call upon our chief guest, His Excellency Mr. Dilip Barua. Please, sir, come over here and take a seat. Volunteer team, help sir to come over here. I would like to call our program chair, Professor Dr. Lutfur Rahman, to come over here. I would like to call our guest of honor, His Excellency Mr. Munshi Faiz Ahmad, sir. Please come over here, take a seat. I would like to call our Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor S. Mabul Haq Mojumdar. Sir, please come and sit here. I would like to call Professor Dr. Abdur, Vice Chancellor, IUBAT University, International University of Business and Agriculture and Technology. Please come and have a seat. I would like to call Mr. Liwen, Counselor, Culture and Education Affairs, Embassy of People's Republic of China, Bangladesh. Please come and have a seat. I would like to call Mr. Han Jiangchao, Vice President, China Enterprise Association in Bangladesh. I would like to call Mr. Mostaque Hasan, NDC, sir. Please come and sit here. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. So at this stage, I would like to call our Director and Dean, Faculty of Business and Entrepreneurship, Dr. Mohammad Masoom Iqbal, sir, to come over here and remarks your welcome speech. Thank you very much, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Mohsin. Thank you so much. Honorable Chief Guest, respected special guest, dignitaries, my esteemed colleagues, journalists from different media, our beloved students. Very good morning and good day to all of you. And I welcome you all to this inaugural ceremony of DIU Belt and Road Research Center. At the very outset, I would like to say a few words about Daffodil International University. You know, DIU is one of the finest and most prominent universities in our country. I would like to say these few words for our distinguished guests. We are really honored to have all these distinguished personalities on our campus today. It has been, or it is one of the finest and largest, as well as the most prominent universities in our country. And based on different rankings, repeated global rankings, say for example, QS, Times Higher Education, Green Metric, Urban Metric, and so on, in different rankings, our university has always been at one of the top universities in our country. So as a part of the Center of Excellence, our university is always giving emphasis on two aspects, teaching and research. And in our university, we are having 5 faculties. And Faculty of Business and Entrepreneurship is one of the largest faculties at DIU. At DIU Belt and Road Research Center is an initiative or unique initiative of Faculty of Business and Entrepreneurship of our university. You know, our university or DIU is taking some adventurous decisions or unique decisions. For example, I can tell you that in our faculty, we are having 2 departments, Department of Real Estate, Department of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. And in our country, these 2 ones are unique departments, rare departments. No other universities are having this kind of departments in our country. So like that, our Faculty of Business and Entrepreneurship has taken this initiative to establish a research center named DIU Belt and Road Research Center. By the way, why DIUBRRC, I mean Belt and Road Research Center at DIU? As I understand that, Belt and Road Initiative is a peaceful economic project. And my sense says that it focuses on connectivity, especially in infrastructural connectivity from China to Europe through Asia and African countries. As I have mentioned that our university is giving equal emphasis on research like teaching, right? So in our faculty, we are also cultivating research culture. Or we give emphasis on research. So this research center will be a part of our faculty as well as this university, and will be taking all the initiatives so that we can do some good researches. So it will be working as a platform. It will be a platform for all the faculty members and our students to do research, good research. You know, as an academic person, we are concerned about publications and so on. But I believe this research center will, from this research center, we'll be doing some good researches which will be impactful and useful for our country, for other countries, China and other countries. And in Belt and Road initiative has some priorities. I can mention some of them. Probably there are 5 priorities. The first one is, say, policy coordination. Number 2, infrastructural connectivity, connecting people, financial integration, and uninterrupted trade. we understand that under this research center, we can focus two areas. The first one is policy coordination through research. If you can undertake, if you can do some good research, which will be useful for us, our government, Chinese government, and this information can be used for their policy development and coordination between these two countries and beyond. And number two is connecting people. You know, connecting people, this research center will also facilitate us to connect people, to bring the people of these two countries closer through different exchange program, which we have already started from this center. And we have had a good number of sessions or interactive sessions with different universities or Chinese universities by this time. In addition, I understand that China is a very good friend to our country, or to us. And probably there is a Chinese proverb, hide your strength, bide the time. So probably we also follow like that. We will also always try to hide our strength and we bide the time. So I find there is similarity between China and Bangladesh. In addition, I can mention that China, so we established our formal relationship or diplomatic relationship with China from most probably from 1976. And China has become the biggest trading partner of Bangladesh from 2006. And now China has become the largest development partner of Bangladesh. So this is the reality. China has become the largest trading partner of Bangladesh right now. So this is the reality. So if we want to work together, for example, or I can say that China is the second biggest economy in the world. On the other hand, Bangladesh is also one of the fastest growing economies in the world. So if we can become closer, probably both countries will be benefited. So it is our humble initiative from our universities, and that this under this research center, it will be working as a platform. We'll be undertaking some researches. So we faculty members and students will be trying to do some good researches. Definitely we'll be having publications in different good journals. At the same time, these researches, our research finding will be useful for all of us, right? For all of us, for all the stakeholders, for the well-being of the society and so on. So having this in mind, we have taken this initiative, and I am personally, or we are personally thankful to the management of Daffodil International University, especially our honorable chairperson of the board of trustees of this university, our Vice-Chancellor, and other top management personalities for being so kind, for being so generous with all the supports which are needed in establishing this research center. We are really thankful to DIU management. And definitely, there are some partner universities we are having right now. At this moment, we are having 20 partner universities in China. So this is what we are, right? And as a university, we are having collaboration with 450 foreign universities, which are from 70 different countries. So this is what we are trying to do, right? We are trying to be one of the best universities in South Asia. So with that expectation, I hope we'll be getting all the advices, since we are having a good number of dignitaries, respected guests today. We'll be having advices from them so that we can make our center more useful for all of us. With these viewers, definitely I'm not taking time, as we are having a good number of guests. We'll be listening to them. So with these viewers, I would like to conclude here by welcoming you all to the inaugural session of this DIU Belt and Road Research Center. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your speech. So now I would like to invite one of our honorable guests of honor, who is the former ambassador and vice president of Chinese People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries, implementing China's independent foreign policy of peace, observing the 5 principles of peaceful, consistence, while carrying out all the directional, multi-level, and border area people-to-people actions, friendship, work to serve the guests, great cause of China's peaceful development and reunification, and contribute to the building of a harmonious world of lasting peace and common prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Mr. Jiang. So I would like to call upon His Excellency Mayor Jiang. Over to you, sir. If you can hear me, over to you.
Thank you. Honorable Minister Dilip Barua, Honorable Vice-Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, Greetings from Beijing. I'm delighted to join you at the inauguration of Daffodil International University Belt and Road Research Center. On behalf of the Chinese People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries, I'd like to extend to you my warm congratulations. Since Chinese President Xi Jinping put forward the Belt and Road Initiative in 2013, China has been working to strengthen policy, infrastructure, trade, financial, and people-to-people connectivity with participating countries and ensure high-quality progress of the initiative. To that end, we have been following the principle of extensive consultation, joint contribution, and shared benefit, and upheld multilateralism and cooperation in a spirit of openness. Up to now, a total of 149 countries and 32 international organizations have signed over 200 Belt and Road cooperation documents with China. The BRI has become an immensely popular global public good and the world's broadest and largest platform for international cooperation. The BRI initiative is rooted in history and comes from China, but it is geared towards the future and belongs to the world. Facts have shown that the BRI embraces the trend of the times and reflects the common aspirations for a better life of people from all the countries, especially developing countries. With the implementation of a series of major projects, trade, investment, and connectivity among BRI countries have markedly increased, contributing greatly to the local economic development and well-being of the people. At a time when the COVID-19 pandemic continues to ravage the world, China and BRI partner countries have joined hands to fight the pandemic and tide over difficulties. Together, we are building the BRI into a road leading to cooperation, health, recovery, and growth. Together, we are advancing the hard connectivity of infrastructure, soft connectivity of institutions and rules, and also connectivity of the heart, that is, connectivity amongst the people. What we have done has given full expression to the spirit of solidarity and the concept of building a community with a shared future for mankind, and offered new ideas and solutions for the reform of global governance system and sustainable development. Dear friends, China and Bangladesh enjoy traditional friendship, and I myself had the pleasure of visiting your beautiful country many years ago. And I have to say, I was deeply impressed by the friendly sentiments of the people of Bangladesh towards the Chinese people. Bangladesh was the first country in South Asia to sign the BRI cooperation agreement with China. Not long ago, the largest power plant built by Chinese enterprises was successfully completed in Bangladesh. Bangladesh has thus entered a new era as the first South Asian country with access to electricity throughout the country. This is yet another example that the BRI has brought huge benefit to the development of Bangladesh. The BRI serves as a new platform for win-win cooperation between our two countries and a solid foundation for the mutual affinity between our two peoples. Exchanges and cooperation between China and Bangladesh have now entered a new stage of rapid development. The two sides share broad prospects for cooperation in such areas as agriculture, trade, marine affairs, climate change, infrastructure, urban management, and poverty alleviation. The timing of the inauguration of this Belt and Road Research Center cannot be more appropriate. Taking advantage of its rich resources, the center will provide more intellectual support for China and Bangladesh in the high quality development of BRI. As a national people's organization engaged in people-to-people diplomacy, we, on our part, are ready to strengthen exchanges and cooperation with Daffodil International University and other educational institutions, think tanks, and NGOs in Bangladesh to facilitate development experience sharing, joint efforts to address common challenges facing mankind, and better disseminate the stories of win-win cooperation and common development between us. By so doing, we will make new contributions to the deepening of China-Bangladesh strategic partnership of cooperation and to the realization of the Chinese dream and the dream of Sana Bangla. In conclusion, I wish the Daffodil International University Belt and Road Research Center ever greater success. And I know that today's event will conclude by a buffet lunch. It's a pity that I will miss that, but I do look forward to visiting your beautiful country and your research center in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your remarks of excellency. Thank you so much once again. Thank you for your time. Now, I would like to invite another guest of honor who was the former Bangladesh ambassador to China. He has permanently worked to build a democratic relationship between Bangladesh and China and raise the tradition of Bangladeshi in Chinese context. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome His Excellency, Mr. Munshi Faiz Ahmad. Sir, over to you.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, or is it it's still morning, right? And Nimen Hao. This is a very pleasant occasion. The inauguration of the Belt and Road Research Center at the Daffodil University. I think, as was mentioned by the previous speaker, this is a very timely effort, beginning, because the Belt and Road Initiative has been there in existence for quite some time. It was mentioned that since 1913, when President Xi Jinping first mentioned it, but it is steeped in history, but always looking forward to the future. It has a beginning, but I would like to say that there is no end. It's going to be everlasting, because if you notice, this is an initiative. This is a kind of concept. It's not just a project. Some people try to say that it is a Chinese project. It is not a Chinese project. It is not a project. It is the collection of many, many, many projects, that some of which have already been completed. Some are being put in place, implemented, and there will be many others that will come in the future. There is no end to it. So that is, I think, something that people should understand, that it is an initiative. And another thing was mentioned by the previous speaker, which is very important to notice, is that it was started by China. The idea was first brought up by China, but it is the world's property. It is not one country's ownership or two countries' ownership. It's anybody who participates in it is an owner. And I think there's something that needs to be mentioned. Since there will be many projects under this initiative, the ownership of the projects will be important to notice. Each project perhaps will be owned by several countries, 2 countries, 3 countries, more. Anybody who participates in a particular project will be the owners of that project. So it is very important that since this has been doing very well and has been promoting friendship and cooperation among countries all over Asia, Europe, and Africa, and of course beyond as well, because when we talk about 149 countries or 139 countries, so they are much more than the number of countries that we have in Asia, Africa, and Europe. That means countries beyond also are trying to benefit from this initiative. So there are always, when you do something good, there are always some detractors. People will try to find fault with it. Some people are jealous. So that is something that we must notice. And since in Bangladesh, we are served mostly by Western press, Western media. So we get a lot more of those, reactions that come from people who are not so happy to see friendship prosper among countries like China and Bangladesh, China and perhaps India, China and the rest of Asia, China and Europe, China and Africa. But there are certain countries who would like to hold us back, hold China back, hold Bangladesh back. Why? Because if they can succeed in that, they can then promote their own control, own influence in these areas. The other day, you must have all noticed about the Quad Summit. They actually openly spoke about containing China. Then subsequently, when the press asked, they said, no, we don't want to contain China. So there is something wrong there. You see, here is something that you must all appreciate, that when we talk about BRI, there is no containment of anybody. It tries to promote friendship with all. If you, a Bangladeshi already knows what that means, friendship with all and malice to none. And that is something we can see in this kind of initiative, that friendship with all and malice to none. And this is the philosophy, this is the principle that needs to be propagated throughout the world more. And BRI can do a lot in doing that. Right now, as we look at the world, we see this war in Ukraine, between Ukraine and Russia. But we all understand that it is a proxy war. This is a war that has been, in many ways, created by other forces who are not there present physically in the war, but who are making sure that the war goes on. They are very influential countries, but they are not making any effort to bring peace, to end the war. They are only trying to provoke the countries to continue the war so that they can sell their arms, they can destroy countries, and then they can go and peddle their own influence. But anyways, that is beside the point right now. But it is important to note that there are many detractors. So we have to be mindful of that. And when our good efforts are being criticized by others, we must be able to answer, reply to them. And China, as the initiator of the initiative, have additional responsibility in doing that. So I definitely expect that our Chinese friends will do more to reply to these various criticisms. Some of the myths that are there, you all since some of you must have at least studied a little bit about Belt and Road Initiative, so you know, they talk about the debt trap. Anything that China does to help other countries is supposed to create a debt trap. But this is a myth. There is no truth to it. But there is an important thing that if we do not plan our projects properly, if we do not do our homeworks properly, then we can get into traps. It's not the Chinese trap, it's our own trap. We have to be careful. And that is very important. So while we must listen to what other people say, but we must also look very carefully into it. That's where this research center, I hope, will play a very important role. That to bust these myths, we need to work more on fact checking, and that is what the research center should be able to do more. And that's why I feel very hopeful when I see this new effort, this new initiative coming up now. And there are other issues that come up, you know, there people talk about ownership. I mentioned a little about it, that it is Chinese owned project, some people say. And so it is all meant for benefiting China only. This is another myth. We must understand when two countries or several countries work together on a project, they do it for their mutual benefit. And there, each country must do its due diligence to make sure that they get enough benefit out of it. If they don't, then they get into trouble. And then they very conveniently pin the blame on China or some other country, which is not right. So my message here is that there are many criticisms of this because people do not understand. There is another, you see, BRI has never talked about excluding anybody. Belt and Road Initiative is a very inclusive initiative. Anybody can join it if they have the right kind of attitude. There is no fixed rule that if you don't follow these rules, or if you don't follow my interest, then you cannot enter here. There is no such thing. But other initiatives you look at, people talk about the Indo-Pacific strategy. There are many good things that can be said about it, but there is one important issue. It's not inclusive, it's exclusive, selective. This is the thing that one must notice. BRI is not so selective and exclusive. So this is, we want that all the good initiatives in the world must be inclusive and must welcome everybody, should not be aimed at stopping anybody or creating obstacle on other people's progress. So that is something that BRI does not do, and this research center that is coming up should be able to work on these issues. And this will, I hope that the research center will work on the general principles and the concept as well as specific projects, particularly since it is being created in Bangladesh. It will particularly look, I hope the center will particularly look at the various projects that Bangladesh is taking up under this initiative to see if those projects are viable, if they're going to be beneficial to the country, and the terms and conditions of the loans and credits that are going to be used. All those things have to be studied and researched on, and that is going to be very important. And here it's very important because Daffodil University is a private university, but universities are universities. It's not private or public. Students who study in any university must be looking at the public good, good of the country and good of mankind. Those are the lofty ideals that universities, all universities are looking at. So it doesn't matter whether it is a private university or public university. It is important that you as researchers must be in touch with all important people in your field. The particular research, the particular project that you are working on, you are not going to only talk to the people on the street or people who are private people, but you're also going to talk to government officials, diplomats and all, and find out about the projects and speak the truth about them to make sure that we all work towards the betterment of the country and promotion of Bangladesh-China relations, as well as cooperation among all countries that are affected by these projects. And so I think I can go on and on, but I should stop somewhere. And this is a good place to stop, where I would like to once again congratulate Daffodil University and the business faculty here on creating this research center. China is very close to my heart because I worked there for more than 13 years, and it's like a second home. So anything that has to do with Bangladesh-China friendship, Bangladesh-China cooperation, I'm always interested in it. And so I'm particularly happy to see this venture, this research center coming up. And I hope I wish it all success in the future. And as long as I have the faculties of mind and body, I'd like to be associated with it in any capacity that I can. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your eminent words. Thank you once again. So there's a little announcement since due to some urgent assignment, our Honorable Pro-Vice-Chancellor, SM Mahbul Haq Majumdar, he will leave us soon. That's why at this moment, I would like to call our Honorable Pro-Vice-Chancellor, SM Mahbul Haq Majumdar, sir, to take this floor. Thank you, sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Chief Guest, Honorable Special Guest, coming from the different institutions and government offices, and my colleagues, and my dear students. I'm sorry to inform you that I have a very urgent meeting. I have to leave at the moment. So I'm sorry that I could not continue with you. Anyway, I think the effort is given by the Daffodil International University to establish the Center for Road and Belt. I think this will be a good initiative for the researcher, and I think by the academicians and by other persons, the research will be coming out, and this research will be very useful for the general people, for both countries, especially Bangladesh and China, and as well as the whole of the world. I think this center will be a milestone in the history of the Daffodil International University, because you know China is a very good friend of us. I personally visited many universities of China. Especially, I was also invited as a chief guest at their 40th birth anniversary of the University of Hunan University. So the Chinese are the best friend of us, and our government is also very looking after the Chinese health and their technology, and our many projects are coming by the Chinese technologists. So I think we'll proceed in future, inshallah. The China and Bangladesh will be a good friend of the whole of the world, and especially of us. So I do not like to prolong my speech. Thank you very much. Again, I apologize to you all so that I could not stay with you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your nice wish. This stage of the program, I would like to invite our special guest in this magnifying ceremony, who is representing our country in the context of China to build bilateral relationship between these two countries. Mr. AFM Aminul Islam, Consul General, Bangladesh Consul General in Kunming, China. Sir, over to you.
Okay, please wait. Contact is. Assalamu alaikum. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon. I would like to extend my warmest greetings to you all. It is honor and my pleasure to be here in this platform alongside with an elite class of guests and all the people are joining online. On very outset of my speech, I would like to show my gratitude and profound respect to our father of the nation, the greatest Bengali of all time, our great leader, the man with visionary spirit and zeal, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. The path of international relationship was actually showed by our father of the nation, and we are walking through the way he showed us immediate after the independence of Bangladesh with great leadership of his able daughter, Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Eventually, over time, our friendly relations with Bangladesh and China have been grown up and now reaches in new heights. The relationship between China and Bangladesh has been developing with mutual cooperation and friendship on both sides. Consequently, today we are here to inaugurate a research center, namely the DIU Belt and Road Research Center, as the first initiative by any tertiary level education institute from Bangladesh. The Belt and Road Initiative, initiated by Honorable President Mr. Xi Jinping, which provides an opportunity to seize benefits, particularly in areas of trade, investment, connectivity, education, and tourism through strong ties with countries, aiming at infrastructure development and acceleration of economic activities. Many countries have already signed and joint Belt and Road Initiative, and Bangladesh is also a signatory of the Belt and Road Initiative. To my understanding, to seize the maximum of the initiative, we need to initiate research work, exchange of academic scholar, arrange training program of the stakeholders related to BRI. On this note, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Daffodil International University to take the initiative to establish a research center, namely the DIU Belt and Road Research Center. I am sure the research work by this center will help the policymaker to take decision related to BRI, which actually will support the economic development of both nations. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and regards to organizer for inviting me to talk. Thank you all. Joy Bangla.
Thank you, sir, for your kind remark of excellency. At this moment, I would like to invite the person who is representing the culture of China and Bangladesh, and also, of course, the education as well. Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest, Mr. Liwen, Counselor, Cultural and Educational Affairs, Embassy of People, Republics of China in Bangladesh. Sir, over to you.
All right. Honorable Your Excellency, Mr. Dilip Barua. Oh, this one here. Yeah. Okay, come. The former Minister of Bangladesh Industry, Chairman of Bangladesh China Silk Road Forum, and Honorable Professor Dr. M.D. Lutfar Rahman, Vice-Chancellor of DIU and the host of today's event. And Honorable Your Excellency, Mr. Jiang, the former Chinese Ambassador and Vice President, Chinese People's Association for Friendship and with Foreign Countries. And Honorable Your Excellency, Mr. Munshi Faiz Ahmad, the former Bangladesh Ambassador to China. Nice talk just now. And distinguished guests, dear students and friends from media, good I think maybe good afternoon. I'm not sure the time. It's a great honor to be here today for the inauguration ceremony for DIU Belt and Road Research Center, and also give a speech on behalf of the Chinese embassy here. First of all, congratulations on DIU for founding the Belt and Road Research Center, which is that I was told, and also I Google in the website, this is the first think tank of this type in Bangladesh. So in this sense, its establishment can be regarded as historical moment, and it has set a record in our bilateral relationship as well. So I'm happy to see the breakthrough. Congratulations. So secondly, I would like to express my appreciation of your vision of the two prestigious universities, the founder DIU and your Chinese partner Jiangxi University of Finance and Economics. I think you are ahead of many people. Just as we know, the objectives of the BRI are to promote economic prosperity of the countries along the Belt and Road, to strengthen exchange and mutual learning between different civilizations, and to promote world peace and development. So for such a significant initiative, just now a lot of distinguished guests has mentioned this too. I think for such a significant initiative, which is bringing and will bring a great change and influence on the regional economic cooperation, it is absolutely significant to set up, to found such a specific institution to research this big and macro subject. And also I believe that such a valuable subject will yield extraordinary research results that will surely benefit your university and benefit your country. A few days ago, I visited the website of this center, and I was happy to see that your center not only promotes the research, but also strive to create a platform for cultural exchange between China and the countries along the Belt and Road, so as to contribute to the implementation of the BRI. I think in this aspect, your mission and objective is consistent with ours. I mean, the cultural office of the Chinese embassy here. That is to promote the mutual understanding and friendship between us. I wish your BNR Research Center would become a good platform on which we could cooperate and do a lot of things together. So dear students, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, Bangladesh and China are very close neighbors, traditional friends, and good partners. Our cooperation under the Belt and Road Initiative is making sound progress, injecting new impetus into bilateral relations. 2 months ago, your country just celebrated your great Independence Day. I just wonder whether you have noticed one thing, that is Chinese president, premier, and a Chinese state councilor and foreign minister sent a separate letter of felicitation respectively to your president, Abdur Hamid, your prime minister, Sheikh Hasina, and your foreign minister, aka Abdul Momen. All of the Chinese leaders expressing that China attaches great importance to the bilateral relationship. And also, we are deeply delighted to see that Bangladesh has fought effectively to control the COVID-19. To be honest, I'm very happy to see there are so many people, almost nobody wear mask now. Although, in Chinese embassy, we still have very strict regulation, but we can see the rapid progress in your university and in Bangladesh. So We are deeply delighted to see that Bangladesh has fought effectively to control the COVID-19 pandemic, made significant progress in building your country and improving the people's livelihood, and also your country is marching ahead toward the solar Bangla dream. Actually, your achievements, I think we can say your achievement, Bangladesh achievements are remarkable, especially in today's very difficult times in the world, due to the factors such as COVID-19 pandemic and the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Compared with the neighboring countries in South Asia, such as Sri Lanka, where I have worked quite a few years, and Pakistan, Nepal, where various problems have occurred. However, Bangladesh can be proud of your achievements in maintaining the political stability, economic diversification, moderate external debt, and effective epidemic control. Of course, although we can still see some warning in your media, I just read some articles from media. There are also some warning about your economic situation now. As one example is your foreign currency reserve has lowered down from something like 45 billion US dollar to 41 billion US dollar. But still, I think the basic structure and the basic situation in your country is stable and good. And I hope and I also believe your government can make some adjustment to crack this problem. So I hope that our friendly relationship will continue to contribute to the development of your country. Under such a friendly context, the Chinese embassy here will undoubtedly continue to follow this direction set by the two countries' leaders and actively promote the health development of bilateral relations. As for me, as the cultural and educational counselor here, I will also try to work hard to promote the cultural exchanges and educational cooperation between the two countries to new heights. Because I just want to talk to about what my work here related to your country, because in the cultural and educational section of Chinese embassy, we still offer a lot of scholarship for local students and also encourage all of the young students just try to apply for Chinese government scholarship. And also now, although there's a lot of students who just want to just return to Chinese university, but because of the situation there, we met some difficulties. But I would like to share a good progress with you. I think in the very short time, you can see the first group of Bangladeshi students can return to Chinese university soon. I hope you can see the result very soon. Okay, so as the cultural and education counselor here, I will go on working hard to promote cultural exchange and educational cooperation between the two countries to new heights. I believe with our efforts together, we can cooperate well and make significant achievements. Today, the founding of DIU Belt and Road Research Center is perhaps only a small step, but I believe more and bigger steps will be taken in the future by two outsides. Finally, I sincerely wish today's inauguration a complete success and also wish your center prosperous in the future. Thank you very much. Yeah. Sure.
Please, I apologize for the interruption, but I thought I should mention one thing I thought it was important. While talking about the BRI, Belt and Road Initiative, we said that one of the fundamental aspects of it was soft connectivity or people-to-people connectivity. And I think that this initiative of the research center, the Daffodil University Belt and Road Research Center, is itself a very important and iconic example of such kind of cooperation. And so it is very much a part of the BRI initiative. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for addressing this important issue once again. And thank you, Mr. Liwen, for your excellent piece of words and your encouragement. And thank you so much for addressing so many cooperation. And recently, China has actually, in a great extent, actually, they have cooperated with Bangladesh in terms of people-to-people exchange, trade, economic, and some other things. And especially, he mentioned the COVID-19 situation. So we know how China actually helped us in that time in terms of improving these situations, and we are overcoming this situation so far. Thank you very much once again. So at this stage, I would like to invite another special guest of ours who created a remarkable impact in making enhanced people friendship, further international cooperation, safeguard whole peace and promote common development in terms of all the countries along with China. Mr. Tu Anbo, Executive Vice President, Jiangxi People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries. Mr. Tu Anbo, let's welcome Mr. Tu Anbo. Over to you, sir.
Lão师没听你。听得见吗？听了，老师，现在可以。Thank you so much. Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Dilip Barua, Honorable Vice President of CPA FFC, Mr. Jiang, Councillor Liwen, Chancellor Lutfa Rahman, dear friends, good afternoon. And thank you very much for the invitation. It's a great pleasure to gather with you via video link today to witness the inauguration of the founding of the Belt and Road Research Center, Daffodil International University, and discuss about cooperation. On behalf of the Jiangxi Provincial People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries, I would like to express my sincere congratulations on the inauguration of the research center, as well as my best wishes for the upcoming MOU signing ceremony between our two sides, which will roll out a new chapter of mutual cooperation. China and Bangladesh have established time-honored diplomatic relations and enjoy long-standing friendship. The Belt and Road Research Center of DIU is committed to carrying out think tank, academic research, international exchanges, and talent training. The establishment of the center will play a positive role in enhancing the friendship and mutual understanding between the two peoples of China and Bangladesh. We are very happy to see that DIU Belt and Road Research Center has enjoyed close cooperation with Jiangxi. Not long ago, jointly organized by DIU Belt and Road Research Center and Jiangxi University of Finance and Economics, China-Bangladesh Belt and Road Economic Development Forum, and China-Bangladesh Youngstock Chinese Corner cultural exchange activity were successfully held. I'm honored to mention that Mr. Wu Di, a senior research fellow of the center, is also an international student in Jiangxi. He has made great efforts for our virtual meeting today. As a journalist, he has published nearly 400 articles on China's rural revitalization, comparing the COVID-19 cultural communication, which showcasing and telling the stories of Jiangxi and China in an objective and all-round way. We will sign the cooperative MOU, and we are looking forward to taking this opportunity to work with you, your center, to inherit and carry forward the traditional friendship between China and Bangladesh and to make contributions to the development of our relationship. Jiangxi is a beautiful place with population of 45 million in South China. We are ready to welcome our friends from Bangladesh anytime. And I also hope that in the near future, I would have opportunities to visit beautiful Bangladesh with my colleagues. Dear friends, I sincerely hope the Belt and Roads Research Center will have a bright future and wish you all success and good health. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of permanency. Now it's time to invite one of our special guests, educational pioneer of China. He is the leading Jiangxi University of Finance and Economics toward efficiency. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Dr. Dang Wei, President, Jiangxi University of Finance and Economics. Sir, over to you. Let's welcome the President of Jiangxi University of Finance and Economics.
Hello, everyone. Your Excellency, former Minister of Industry, Mr. Dilip Barua, Your Excellency, Vice-Chancellor, Daffodil International University, Dr. Lutfa Rahman, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am delighted to be invited here and witness the establishment of Belt and Road Research Center at Daffodil International University. On behalf of Jiangxi University of Finance and Economics, I would like to express my warmly congratulations to the establishment of Belt and Road Research Center at Daffodil International University, and wish this inaugural session successful and productive. First of all, please allow me take this opportunity to introduce my university, Jiangxi University of Finance and Economics, jointly sponsored and governed by the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Education, and the government of Jiangxi Province. JUFI is a higher institution of finance and economics, which focuses on economics and management, and also simultaneously promotes the coordinated development of multiple disciplines. JUFI has 17 schools consisted by a number of well-known experts and scholars at home and abroad. It is an influential training base for economic and management talents in China. JUFI is committed to opening up and seeks to expand cooperation and partnership with more than 41 countries. Currently, JUFI established a partnership with more than 160 universities. We aim to build a platform for the international exchange between faculty members and students. JUFI also pays attention to the research of the Belt and Road Initiative. The establishment of JUFI's Belt and Road Initiative Research Institute in 2019 serves this framework to realize common development and prosperity. The institute integrates multiple functions, such as a think tank, building a communication and dialogue platform for the Belt and Road countries, and providing academic support, theoretical innovation, and policy consultation for Jiangxi province of China. The Belt and Road Research Center at Daffodil International University is a BRA-based think tank in Bangladesh, which organized the conferences and had the fruitful communications in the past few months. I firmly believe that we share the same aspiration and goals. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2013, Chinese President Xi Jinping proposed building a global community of shared future. The launch of the Belt and Road Initiative is the practice of this concept. Over the past years, the initiative has transformed from idea to action and become a broad cooperation platform for countries keen to realize common development. Bangladesh is an essential country along the Belt and Road. The economic and trade exchanges between Bangladesh and China enjoyed a long history. The earliest trade record can even be traced back to the Silk Road, starting from China's Qin and Han dynasty. In recent years, the development of Bangladesh-China relations has been promoted onto the fast track. During the successful state visit of President Xi Jinping to Bangladesh in October 2016, relationship between our two countries were elevated to strategic partnership of cooperation, which started a new chapter in Bangladesh-China relations. I also sincerely hope that strategic partnership with the Belt and Road Research Center at Daffodil International University will enhance the scientific research, strengthen the cultural exchanges and academic cooperation, and therefore give fresh impetus to cultural and people-to-people exchanges between the two countries. In this blooming season, I wish the warm and gentle breeze may blow away the haze of the epidemic and bring joyous blessings to the distinguished guests and all the faculty members in Daffodil International University. Hope we can meet up in Juvie one day. Finally, I wish all of you good health, good luck, and happy lives, and complete success of this inaugural session. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Dang Hui. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your remarks of excellency. At this stage of this program, I would like to invite a person who is helping us from the very beginning to knock off the door of Chinese people, all the communities with the prospect of DIU Belt and Road Research Center. We humbly over to Mrs. Yo Guangwei Anondi, Director of Bangladesh Department, China Media Group. Over to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thanks to Daffodil International University for inviting me to today's event. It is my pleasure to meet you all here. Please allow me to speak in Bengali because to me, Bengali is more cordial than English. So, Bangladesh China Silk Road Forumer সম্মানিত German ও সাবেক শিল্পমন্ত্রী জনাব Dilip Barua, Chinese People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries, এর সম্মানিত Vice President Mr. Jiang, যিনি বাংলাদেশের সাবেক রাষ্ট্রদূত জনাব Munshi Faiz Ahmad এবং সুধীবৃন্দ শুভ দুপুর। আমি চায়না মিডিয়া গ্রুপের বাংলা বিভাগের পক্ষ থেকে Daffodil International University Belt and Road গবেষণা কেন্দ্রের বিশাল উদ্বোধনী অনুষ্ঠান এবং চীনের জিয়াংসি প্রদেশের গণবৈদেশিক মৈত্রী সমিতি আর বাংলাদেশের Daffodil International Universityর Belt and Road গবেষণা কেন্দ্রের সঙ্গে বন্ধুত্বপূর্ণ সহযোগিতামূলক সম্পর্ক বিষয়ক MOU স্বাক্ষরের জন্য অভিনন্দন জানাই। 2016 সালের অক্টোবরে চীনের প্রেসিডেন্ট শি জিনপিং বাংলাদেশ সফর করেন। সেই সময় আমি আর CRI এর উপ মহাপরিচালক তার সঙ্গে বাংলাদেশ সফর করেছিলাম। তখন ঢাকা শহরের রাস্তায় দুদেশের শীর্ষ নেতাদের বড় বড় ছবি দিয়ে সাজানো দৃশ্য এখনো আমার মনে আছে। প্রধানমন্ত্রী ভবনে দুই শীর্ষ নেতার উপস্থিতিতে CRI ও ATM বাংলার একটি টিভি সিরিজ প্রচারের চুক্তি স্বাক্ষরিত হয়েছিল। আমি লক্ষ্য করেছি তখন থেকে এ পর্যন্ত 6 বছর চীন ও বাংলাদেশ বেল্ট অ্যান্ড রোড ইনিশিয়েটিভের কাঠামোতে অবকাঠামো নির্মাণ, আর্থিক সহায়তা, সাংস্কৃতিক বিনিময় আর মিডিয়ার সহযোগিতা সহ নানা ক্ষেত্রে অনেক অগ্রগতি অর্জন করেছে। ড্যাফোডিল ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ইউনিভার্সিটি বাংলাদেশের মতো উচ্চ শিক্ষা প্রতিষ্ঠানের এই প্রথম বেল্ট অ্যান্ড রোড গবেষণা কেন্দ্র প্রতিষ্ঠা করা উদ্যোগ অবশ্যই প্রশংসনীয়। গত বুধবার 25শে মার্চ আরটিভিতে প্রচারিত চায়না ফোকাস্ট নামের টকশোতে আমি আনন্দের সঙ্গে ড্যাফোডিল ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ইউনিভার্সিটির ব্যবসা ও উদ্যোক্তা ইনস্টিটিউটের ডিন অধ্যাপক ডক্টর মোহাম্মদ মাসুম ইকবাল, বেল্ট অ্যান্ড রোড গবেষণা কেন্দ্রের উপপরিচালক ডক্টর একেএম মহসিন এবং চীনের জিয়াংশি ফাইন্যান্স অ্যান্ড ইকোনমিক্স ইউনিভার্সিটির আন্তর্জাতিক অর্থনীতি ও বাণিজ্য ইনস্টিটিউটের ডিন অধ্যাপক ডক্টর উচাও ইয়াং বেল্ট অ্যান্ড রোড গবেষণা নিয়ে আলোচনা করেছি। তাদের কাছ থেকে এই গবেষণা কেন্দ্র সম্পর্কে অনেক তথ্য জেনেছি। আমার বিশ্বাস আপনাদের এই উদ্যোগ অবশ্যই সফল হবে। আমি আশা করি প্রদেশের সরকার ও জনগণ আপনাদের উদ্যোগ থেকে উপকৃত হবে। চায়না মিডিয়া গ্রুপের বাংলা বিভাগ সবসময় আপনাদের সাফল্য সম্প্রচারের জন্য প্রস্তুত। আশা করি মিডিয়ার মাধ্যমে আরো বেশি মানুষ আপনাদের পরিশ্রম ও প্রচেষ্টার কথা জানতে পারবে। ড্যাফোডিল ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ইউনিভার্সিটির বেল্ট অ্যান্ড রোড গবেষণা কেন্দ্রের সফলতার জন্য শুভকামনা জানাই। চীন ও বাংলাদেশের মৈত্রী চিরজীবী হোক। সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ।
Thank you so much, Mrs. Yo Guangwei Anandi, and we are really pleased to listen from you that you speak Bangla is really well, and sometimes it's better than us. The way you pronounce is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for addressing so many things that you have extended already with the DIU Built-in Research Center, and at the same time, your contribution, especially in Bangladesh, in terms of promoting and letting the people know so many things, what is actually happening here and in China as well, and connecting these two countries in a way to uphold a strong relationship, Bangladesh and China. So, ladies and gentlemen, Daffodil International University Built-in Research Center is highly praising the idols and promoting cross-cultural activities and develop bilateral relationship among Bangladesh and China in a broader context for completing our slogan of "We are one." To affirm this prosperity of relationship development, we are heading to a MOU signing with Jiangxi People's Association of Friendship with foreign countries. I would like to invite Professor Dr. Mohammad Masoom Iqbal, Director, DIU Built-in Research Center, Dean, Faculty of Business and Entrepreneurship, and our Honorable Vice-Chancellor, sir, to come up here because we're going to have the MOU signing with the Jiangxi People's Association of Friendship with foreign countries. So we're going to officially sign the MOU with them. Hopefully you guys will cooperate. So I would like to request our honorable sirs to come over here. স্যার আপনি চেষ্টা দেখাচ্ছেন এখানে জুম হবে এখানে ক্যামেরা জুম হবে মোশন
Dr. Mohsin, could you please announce the name from Jiangxi People Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries?
Yes,
on behalf
of the Jiangxi People's Association of Friendship with Foreign Countries, Representative Mr. Shan Dongchuan, Secretary General of Jiangxi People's Association of Friendship with Foreign Countries. So he will sign on behalf of Jiangxi People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries. And from Daffodil International University Built-in Research Center, the representative, Professor Dr. Mohammad Masum Iqbal, will sign on behalf of DIU Built-in Research Center.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Please be seated. Please be seated. Okay, so at this very beautiful moment, thank you very much. Thank you. I would like to extend our gratitude to the Jiangxi peoples. Let me check it out if I'm not wrong. Jiangxi People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries. Thank you, the representative, Mr. Shan Jiangsong, for signing the MOU on behalf of Jiangxi People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries. And thank you, our Dean and Director, Professor Dr. Mohammad Masum Iqbal, signing on behalf of Daffodil International University Built and Road Research Center. Thank you very much. Everybody, please give applause for this beautiful moment. So at this time, I would like to call, it's my pleasure to call or announce something, it's very interesting and it's our honor moment for us. We're gonna inviting one of our honorable advisor and expert in the board of DIU Built-in Research Center. So it's a remarkable gesture for Daffodil International University Built-in Research Center, which is process of internationalization. At this stage, I would like to call our honorable guest of honor, Mr. Munshi Faiz Ahmad, for receiving the appointment letter as advisor of DIU Built-in Research Center. So I would like to request our director and our Vice-Chancellor, Honorable Vice-Chancellor, sir, to hand over this appointment letter. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So now it's my great pleasure. Sir, could you please be stated here? I would like also to invite Ms. Shanta Maria, the senior reporter of Chinese Media Group, to receive the appointment letter of Mrs. Yang Gui Anundi as a Sino-Bangla expert on the board of DIU Built-in Research Center. Ma'am, Shanta Maria. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much and congratulations. And we are happy to have you in our advisory board and expert pool. So at this stage of this program, I would like to invite the remarkable industrialist of our country who has actually contributed in the field of SMEs, Mr. Mostaque Hasan NDC, just give us a few words and just welcoming this session and the inauguration session of DIU Bilateral Research Center.
Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Dilip Barua, former Minister of Industry, guest of honor, His Excellency Munshi Faiz Ahmad, former Ambassador of Bangladesh to China, distinguished special guest, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, journalists, Assalamu alaikum. I am highly delighted to be here and show my gratefulness to the Daffodil International University for inviting me. Daffodil International University, one of the lead university in Bangladesh, I must say. And that is why I do want to congratulate Daffodil International University to initiate Build and Road Research Center in this university. 3 years back, I also attended another program in Daffodil University in Dhanmondi office, when they inaugurated another new program, entrepreneurship program, most important program in Bangladesh. And Daffodil University, they are the initiator of this program. And I attended in that program 3 years back. And you see, if we look back, if we look at 20 years back, then BRI, Build and Road Initiative Program, was not so important. But present perspective, it is important. Why? Because our visionary leader, Honorable Prime Minister, is the only head of the government who set Vision 2021. Before her tenure, there are no head of the country or head of the government who even think to set a vision to become middle income country. She said Vision 2021, and now we are developing country. The present government also set Vision 2041 and also SDG achievement by 2030 and upper middle income 2030. So you see, our economic growth, GDP growth is impressive in Asian countries. And I personally believe that the economic growth rate, it will go further. Perhaps in the next month, further bridge will be inaugurated. And economic projection, what we have seen that after inauguration of this bridge, our GDP growth enhanced another 1.5%. So I think that China is our best friend among other countries of the world, and they are very old development partner. And I have seen as a symbol of friendship, China established a number of friendship bridges in Bangladesh. And one is Pustogola, one is Maimansingh, maybe Chapayugans, and many other places. As a development partner, they have been implementing many mega projects. And they have many cooperation in our economic development. So I think this initiative, BRI Research Center, of course, it will contribute in our economic development and prosperity. You see, what I do want to mention here, before 20 years back, BRI program has no, even China never think whether this program is initiated and included in Bangladesh. But now you see our honorable guest of honor, Munshi Faiz Ahmad sir, is here, and he was served long time in China. And we have been struggling for FDI. but it was in the slogan, in the pen and paper. We didn't have any sufficient initiative of the government to bring FDI. To bring FDI, number one important issue is establishment of industrial park or economic zone. But during 80s, we have 8 export processing zone. But already 40 years back, no, another export processing zone was not established. How FDI will come? But now, when Dilip Barua sir was the industrial minister, he initiated many industrial park programs, which have been already implemented by BSCIC. Now in our hand, 10 industrial park is ready for FDI, for investment. And I think many people in Bangladesh doesn't know that we have already 10 industrial park in Bangladesh, where particularly China can invest here. So 20 years back, we didn't have uninterrupted electricity supply, uninterrupted gas supply, and water and other services, and infrastructure was so poor. So last 15 years, huge development initiative was made by our Honorable Prime Minister, and one-stop service also initiated by BSCIC, Economic Zone Authority, and BEBJA. So now is the appropriate time for initiating this program, and I think implementing this BRI program, our economic prosperity will be faster. So I don't want to speak more. So I wish success of this initiative of Belt and Road Research Center under this university, and I again show my gratefulness to the Daffodil International University to invite me in this important occasion. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your word of excellence. Since actually we're running out of time, we have so many things to do, like we have our cultural activities to dance and song performance, combination of Bangladesh and China. And we also have some of our honorable speakers to speak. So I'm requesting all of our speakers to just make it a little short, if it is possible. Thank you, sir. So now it's time to invite one of our educational pioneer of the country, who is leading International University of Business, Agriculture and Technology from the very front. Please welcome Professor Dr. Abdur, Vice-Chancellor of IUBAT. Over to you, sir.
Honorable Session Chair, dignitaries from Embassy of China in Bangladesh and from other Chinese institutions, respected special guests from Bangladesh, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first of all thank the organizer for inviting me to this August gathering and giving me an opportunity to speak before you. We are today going to formally inaugurate the Daffodil International University Research Center for Belt and Road Initiative. I started visiting China since 2012, starting with Kunming, moving up to a few other provinces of China, apparently for academic purposes. I noticed that Chinese government has invested heavily on research and higher education. And this investment is going to give them an edge in their intellectual innovations as well as intellectual leadership at a global level. The Belt and Road Initiative, I would say, is an innovative approach of the Chinese government to connect people around the world, more especially Asia and Europe. Some 149 countries and international organizations are already in the cooperative agreements. And this grand political economic project is going to connect people. And in the global context of today, it is very important that the people know better than in the past. And the best way is to have connectivity through land, through sea, through air, and of course through internet. The old Silk Road had been an integrating passage for many nations. Now, the Belt and Road Initiative is going to re-establish that connection and much broader areas than in the past. However, there are misconceptions about this initiative. Part of it because of the ignorance of people about it. Part of it is because there has not been enough research to show the present and potential benefits of this initiative. The initiative taken by Daffodil International University to set up a research center exclusively on BRI is a milestone, I would say, not only in the university, but also in the country as well as in the region. We have many competent researchers in this university as well as in other higher educational institutions. It will be a great opportunity for these researchers to engage in research areas that are going to give them an understanding of how BR is going to benefit countries and people. Not only trade and industry, but the promotion of culture, promotion of people's understanding of each other would be facilitated. Let me congratulate Mr. Sabur Khan, the person who had a vision and has been implementing his ideas so nicely, moving into areas where Bangladesh need to concentrate on innovation, entrepreneurship, research, of course, education. I like to thank the organizers that they have been able to put up so many people from so many different institutions from Bangladesh and China together and have been able to disseminate the message so well. The Vice-Chancellor of this university, Professor Lutfur Rahman, my honorable colleague at the University of Dhaka, is giving new leadership in this university, and we expect that the university will go a long way to establish yourself as one of the top universities, not only in Bangladesh, but in the region. I must thank the speakers who have already spoken here. I have been able to enrich my knowledge from their speeches, and I hope I'll be benefiting from the other speeches that are here. Thank you, everyone, once again. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your word of excellency. So at this stage, I would like to call Mr. Han Jiangchao, the Vice President of Chinese Enterprise Association in Bangladesh, on behalf of the president, actually, who will just give us some the remarks regarding this inauguration session of DIU Bilateral Research Center. Over to you, sir.
Assalamualaikum. Good afternoon. 大家下午好。Your Excellency, Ms. Dilip Barua, former Minister of Industry in Bangladesh. Your Excellency, Mr. Munshi Faiz Ahmad, former Ambassador of Bangladesh to China. Your Excellency, Jiangxi, former Ambassador. Special guest, Mr. Liwen, Consular, Cultural and Education Affairs Embassy of People's Republic of China to Bangladesh. Special guest is the AFM Aminul Islam, Consular General, Bangladesh, Kunming, China. Distinguished guest, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm honored to be here, your presence in this afternoon. I'm grateful to the Daffodil International University Bilateral Research Center for inviting me to deliver speech on behalf of the Chinese Enterprise Association in Bangladesh. Bangladesh is part of the proposal of the Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar, BCIM, Economic Corridor and the BRR project. Due to the geography, location, and demographic structure, Bangladesh have become the center of the attraction for China. Bangladesh and China have increasingly been connected through trade, investment, and cultural exchanges. Due to the last decade, Chinese companies have invested in the improvement several major projects and business in Bangladesh, including transportation, energy, power, telecom, communications, and other fields, making positive contributions to the economic and the social development of the two friend countries. Today, China became one of the largest trading partners of Bangladesh. Between China and Bangladesh, will resume growing the importing Bangladesh 2001-2002 to 2024 as for policy and duty-free access to China for 98% of Bangladesh products. Chinese business, industry, and investors are committed more cooperate with Bangladesh and the Belt and the Road Initiative and the guide of the high quality development and growth. I'm optimistic that Central emphasis on establish a global research network on the Belt and Road which help China and Bangladesh achieve the principles of the wide consolidation, joint contribution, and shared benefit. We will hope to achieve a new model of the women cooperation. Chinese Enterprise Association in Bangladesh is looking forward to seeking further cooperate with Bangladesh Institute and organizations to complete the shared future to the human communities. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Han Jiangshao, for your word of excellency. Now it's time to invite the one of our special guests, Mr. Monar Hussain, Vice President, Dhaka Chamber of Commerce and Industry, DCCI. So we are over to you, sir, for your remarks regarding this inauguration session of DIU Built-in Road Research Center. Over to you, sir, if you can hear us.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Chief guest H.E. Mr. Dilip Barua, former Minister Industry of Bangladesh. Guest of honor H.E. Mr. Jiang, former Ambassador and Vice President, Chinese People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries. Guest of honor H.E. Mr. Munshi Faiz Ahmad, former Bangladesh Ambassador to China. Distinguished guests and participants, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon. I'm delighted to join you all today at the inaugural ceremony of Daffodil International University Belt and Road Research Center, organized by Daffodil International University. Let me express my heartfelt thanks to organizer and the managing committee of this event. Today, I want to congratulate the host for newly established Research Center for One Belt, One Road initiative, which is indeed a great initiative from Daffodil International University to take the objective of fostering growth through regional integration. Respected guests, Bangladesh is strategically, locally offering easy access to entire Asian region through essential access to the Bay of Bengal and the Indian Ocean. We see that one of the 6 important economic corridors of Belt Road Initiative BRI will pass through Bangladesh. It happens to be one of the 2 maritime corridors of BRI. This corridor, which starts as Kunming, passes through Myanmar, enters Indian northeast and through Bangladesh, ending up in Kolkata. The BCIM, Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar initiative aimed to foster regional cooperation that connected South Asia, Southeast Asia, and East Asia all together. Respected audience, during the last decade, Bangladesh has become increasingly connected to the Chinese economy through trade, investment, and cultural exchanges, signing several deals worth a total of US $21.5 billion under the OBOR initiative, including US $3.3 billion for the bridge rail link, US $1.9 billion for Paira power plant, US $1 billion in digital connectivity, and US $1.32 billion for power grid network project. For Bangladesh, BRI provide possibilities to harness its advantages, particularly in the area of regional and international trade, investment, connectivity, education, and tourism. Through strong ties with countries, particularly in the Southern Asia region and more specifically with China and India. Ladies and gentlemen, Dhaka Chamber always appreciate research-based works. The research department of DCCI is the oldest research initiative of an organization that the country has ever seen. DCCI has also entered into MOUs with many academic institutes, including Daffodil International University, reflecting its commitment to enhance industry-academia linkage. DCCI, utilizing the strength of its R&D department and capitalizing the industry-academia linkage, had already completed several national-level research projects for the purpose of ensuring research-led policy advocacy for the private sector. I'm certain that the MOU between DCCI and DIU will allow both parties to utilize each other's strength for conducting relevant research works in identifying the impact of the Belt Road Initiative on our economy and the region as a whole. Thus, regionally and locally, all countries in the BRI can be benefited to large extent. With this hope, I end my speech here. All the best of Daffodil International University, Belt and Road Research Center. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time and the word of eminence. Over the last 45 years, the relationship between China and Bangladesh has been developing with a mutual cooperation and friendship on both sides. In the international arena, Bangladesh has, to the best of its capacity, and maintained overwhelming support from the One China policy and China's peaceful rise. The Ministry of Industry of our country has played a tremendous role to achieve this collaboration. Now it's time to invite the chief guest of our ceremony. Please welcome the former Minister of Industries, Government of Bangladesh, and Chairman of Bangladesh-China Silk Road Forum, Mr. Dilip Barua. Over to you, sir. Please, everybody, let's welcome our chief guest.
It is a happy occasion for me, as because during my study in the Dhaka University, when I was a student, I always follow the political line of China. That means I want to say, since my student life is still now, I am in one-way traffic. That means always uphold the Chinese policy, both politically, ideologically, and economically. Now, for these reasons, I am also part of this happy occasion. I feel proud for this. Honorable President of this seminar, Vice-Chancellor of Daffodil International University, Professor Dr. Lutfur Rahman. Our former ambassador, who is the special guest, Mr. Faiz Ahmad, Munshi Faiz Ahmad, and Professor Dr. Abdur, Vice-Chancellor International University of Business and Agriculture and Technology, and Mr. Liwen, the Cultural Counselor of the Chinese Embassy, Mr. K. Chengling, President, Chinese Entrepreneurs Association in Bangladesh, former BSCIC chairman. And Siddiqui, all students and distinguished guests. I want to say, one of the recent initiatives that warrants heightened attention and importance on the part of the world, all concerned stakeholders in the world, is China's Belt and Road initiatives. Chinese President, His Excellency Comrade Xi Jinping, puts forward the Belt and Road initiative to build a Silk Road economic belt and 21st century maritime Silk Road in a bid to revive the historical trade route by boosting cooperation between China and other Asian nations. This is the brainchild of the Comrade Xi Jinping's thinking for enjoying fruits of regional, continental, and world connectivity. Both the new Silk Road and new maritime Silk Road, as being pivoted by the China, one proactive, not reactive, moves to extend its infrastructural development programs backed by the plenty of money and enormous expertise. It has clearly demonstrated in recent years its most remarkable performance in infrastructure in Asia is all too even. Moreover, their ideas have some unique attributes which could potentially bring significant benefits to the participating countries through deepening of economic cooperations and integrations by leveraging on 5 connectivity, that is transport connectivity, trade connectivity, investment connectivity, educational cultural connectivity, and diplomatic connectivity. We are observing that China is constantly changing conversation since China has taken a more active role in international relations and moved away from Comrade Deng Xiaoping's nations of keeping a low profile towards Comrade Xi Jinping's paradigm of striving for achievements. It is within the context of this shift that China proposed the BRI and has employed more globally oriented slogans to describe its flagship foreign policy initiative. One example is the aim of the activity shared destiny for all mankind. It is a new philosophy of Chinese, which is initiated by Comrade Xi Jinping, to the fact that China is now confident enough to propose a project addressing all mankind, highlights the extent of the foreign policy shift in the world. China now founds itself is a key period for realizing the great innovations of Chinese nations and is more confident and more competent than any time in the history to grasp the historic opportunity. As the Belt and Road Forum, President Xi noted that in pursuing the Belt and Road Initiative, we should focus on the fundamental issues of development, release the growth potential of various countries and active economic integrations and interconnected development and deliver benefits to all. The BRI is an umbrella initiative whose covers a multitude of investment projects designate to promote the flow of goods, investment, and people. In March 2015, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of China disseminated an action plan that fleshed out a specific policy goal of BRI. These include: 1, improving intergovernmental communication to better align high-level government policies like economic development strategies and plans for regional cooperation. 2nd, strengthening the corporations and infrastructure plans to better connect hard infrastructure networks like transportation systems and power grids. 3rd, encouraging the development of soft infrastructure such as the signing of the trade deals, aligning the regulatory standards, and improving financial integration. 4th, bolstering people-to-people connections by cultivating student, export, and cultural exchange and tourism. Beneficiaries countries are likely to be found most attractive elements of the BRI to be its provisions and hard infrastructure. Likewise, the BRI provides China with an opportunity to means to finance these infrastructure projects around the world. In September, the Chinese government issued guidelines, the official translations as Belt and Road rather than One Belt, One Road. These intellections highlight a process whereby the initiative has become more inclusive with time. Previously, the two components were sub-regional. Now the term in a global one that leaves electricity for China to interpret according to its views. The call on Latin American countries to take part in the initiative is a clean proof that bringing things beyond old Silk Road and is planning to shape new one. China experts may be interpreted that BRI is China's new geopolitical and economic strategy, a plan adopted in the face of an American pivot to Asia that also ensures the continuation of China's trade surpluses, a new market to satisfy. domestic production's overcapacity. BRI would then be aimed at sustaining China's growth in a global backdrop that is increasing by anxious of the country's growing influence. Keeping the low profile strategy behind and aiming to play a more consequent role in international affairs, China needed to rebrand its growth in the eyes of other countries into the opportunity rather than a threat. This is turn allow China to continue to grow and accumulate power within the international system. BRI could be seen as the vehicle through which that transition occurs. It is an adaptive state that permits China to use its economic charm and sophisticated rhetorical tools to desirable to other international actions through win-win logic. So BRI buys China more time to develop economically and slowly shift the global balance of powers towards China. Another interpretation would be BRI as a vision for a new wave of globalizations, one that can be defined within the historical baggage that the term processes a new development strategy for the world economically. It is the rise of populism and protectionism in the West, and President Donald Trump's rhetoric in particular at present, Joe Biden, particular that helped China to promote itself as the main engine of globalizations and gave BRI more substance. The famous speech of President Xi Jinping in Davos in 2017 clearly contrasted with the President Trump's rhetoric and articulated this new narrative for China's role in global affairs. Consequently, BRI could be viewed as a Chinese vision of making our planet great again, borrowing President Marcos' slogan, and BRI goal of achieving a community of shared destiny for all mankind would mean shaping a new vision for globalization with Chinese characteristics, which is likely to be distinct from one led by the US after Second World War. The present democratic government of Bangladesh, under the dynamic and visionary leadership of Her Excellency Sheikh Hasina, is working relentlessly with the view of bringing about a positive change in the society and the slogan and the region. Under the able leadership, Bangladesh has set a largest target to be a middle-income country, aimed graduated from LDC status by 2021 and become a developed country by year 2041. One vote counts. This is important that present very adequately for the time when the competitive power will mainly rest on its capacity to raise its competitive strength rather than preference enjoyed because of being LDC. One Belt, One Road initiative in BCIM block would be an important contribution factor in harnessing Bangladesh's potential in view of potential of new reality. The Bangladesh government has been a strong believer in regional connectivity, and given its unique geopolitical positions, the country can derive enormous benefits from regional connectivity like BCIM, Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar. Connectivity through road, river, stand, railways is perceived in an economic necessity and constitute a part of the service industry. The ability to construct the new Silk Road, which is reflected by Belt and Road, will depend on the development of a coherent strategy by all countries involved and much take into account key geopolitical and security considerations. The Belt and Road Initiative is incredibly ambitious plan that may be reshape global trade, particularly regional one, as final cooperation within the region defends this heart of modern economy is pivoting steady impetus to the Belt and Road. Bangladesh strategized its policy by taking cognizance of the evolving scenario and advantage of the emerging possibilities. In the backdrop, BCIM economic corridor and BCIM wide economic cooperations and integration could prove to be an important opportunity in the transformative journey that Bangladesh aspires to undertake over near to medium term future. Let us seize the opportunity of BCI economic corridor by working together to establish a harmonious South Asia for the regions in general and for the 4 countries of this bloc in particular. I want to say one point. That means there is a propaganda in Bangladesh. There's recently what is happening in the, I want to say, Sri Lanka. There is a wave of propaganda that Chinese debt is not good. Chinese loan is not good. It is a one kind of loan. A debt trap. Sorry. So you see, in Sri Lanka, only 10% loan of China, 10%. Of Chinese loan in Sri Lanka, only 10%. Most loan from World Bank, IMF, more than 50%. And Japan. In Bangladesh also, it is 5%, 5 to 10% loan. But moreover, Bangladesh will not be like Sri Lanka for 3 reasons. One, we have a huge remittance. Every year we are getting a huge remittance. Second, our garments export is very good position, increasing. Third, we are self-sufficient in food. This is 3 fundamentals. For these 3 reasons, Bangladesh will not be like Sri Lanka. I want to say for our younger generation, as because we are also a student and we have also so many imaginations, but all those imaginations are frustrated that Western countries are very good, very good, very good. Western countries, they are the symbol of education, they are the symbol of culture. But history told us that East is also red, East is also our, all are telling regarding East. We have a long tradition, long traditions. So I want to say, the younger forces, they should know themselves, they should know the history, they know the history of the East. Then the history, culture, educations, intellectual giant. Perhaps you know the Nalanda University. Do you know the Nalanda University? Nalanda, once it was a famous university in Indo-Pak subcontinent. It was seated in near India. It was financed by the Pal Raja, Pal dynasty, who are the ruler of this Bengal. So we have a long tradition for university and educations. So we have to cultivate ourselves. Then we will be self-sufficient both in economy, in culture, in politics, and in education. So I think Daffodil University authority has done a good things. They have a courage to take this initiative. Courage for this, I want to say that there are so many university authorities, they will not take this initiative. If they will take this initiative, then they will be, somebody will say America or Western countries, they will be dissatisfied. Though you should not take this type of, I want to seminar or these types of research work. So for your courage, we want to say, we congratulate you for the authority, and we draw the kind attention of Chinese embassy, political, cultural counselor and educational counselor cooperate with this university to promote the relation between Bangladesh and China. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your unwavering motivational words and guidance. We are so much grateful for your presence here. Thank you once again. So we are at the very final stage of this closing this formal part of the ceremony. Just a little housekeeping announcement that after this formal ceremony, we'll have one cultural exchange, like cultural program. And after that, we'll directly go to the center. So I want all of our guests to remain with us. And I'm sorry, and we are begging your valuable time from us. And thank you very much for your cooperation, although we know that it's a little late, but I'm sorry for this little inconvenience. And we'll directly go to, after the formal part of this ceremony, we'll directly go and visit the center, and there will be a lace cutting and cake cutting ceremony. And after that, we'll directly go for lunch. So that was the little housekeeping announcement. So now at this moment, I would like to invite the Honorable Vice-Chancellor of Daffodil International University, Professor Dr. Lutfur Rahman, sir, to give a vote of thanks, on behalf of DIU Belt and Road Research Center and, of course, Daffodil International University. Sir, floor is yours.
In the name of Almighty, the loving, the kind. Good day for you all. In this inaugural ceremony, our Honorable Chief Guest, respected His Excellency, Mr. Dilip Barua. At least our people know him very well. He was Minister of Industry, and he has a very successful and long political career. With us, guest of honors, Mr. Jiangxi, Mr. Faiz Ahmad, and a host of national and international dignitaries. Our dear colleagues, I welcome you to this great opening ceremony. First of all, I would like to welcome our guests outside of the Daffodil International. So I will request my dear colleagues to join me to welcoming them in this ceremony. Dear honored guests, we are delighted to have you with us in this morning. It was, I believe, very interesting for us, encouraging for us, and we expanded our knowledge from your valuable presentations, lectures, etc. So, Belt and Road Research Center, it is a new initiative of this university, and we are tremendously encouraged by you. One thing was mentioned by our chief guest, that is Silk Road. This is a historic road that extended China's communication to rest of the world, to Europe, to Africa, to Asia, all over, East and West. So I think this is a good example that our Chinese friends want to cooperate with other nations. They want to trade with others. And of course, you know very well, they are cooperating with the developing nations to develop. And in this respect, we thank China for funding, especially for many projects, which we need badly for our own development. Our Chinese friends know very well that we have very ambitious plan, as it was mentioned by our chief guest and other dignitaries, that we want to develop. We have planned to be a developed nation. So our goal is to reach it 2041. But I believe if we work together, we can achieve it before that. And in this respect, cooperation with China is very much expected, wanted, and necessary for us. So we hope we will continue to get their cooperation in the years to come. Belt and Road Initiative, well, as far as I know, in the ancient time, that is in the Silk Road time, it connected far away up to Rome in the west, and Indian subcontinent, including Bangladesh, Middle East, and the Eastern Asia also. But this time, the Belt and Road is a combination of connectivity through road as well as maritime connectivity. So this is an extension of the ancient Silk Road. So I would like to thank our guests, especially far from China and here in Bangladesh, physically as well as online, for their time and for their deliberations and for their encouragement for the center. Now, I think through this center, our university, our country will have more integrations with China. About China, Daffodil International University, I think it was mentioned by our Honorable Dean and Director of the center that we are very much connected with China. Not only now, from ancient times, many Chinese travelers in the Middle Ages visited Bengal, and many of our people also visited China. So this bonding is not new. It is very old and ancient. So I think this will be nurtured and we can reach our goal, what we call 2041. That is when we want to be really a developed country. So for my colleagues, these very young people, now it is our turn to prove. We are getting cooperation from China, and I am grateful for the cooperation for our visitors, especially Chinese and the other dignitaries from outside Daffodil International University, for taking the trouble to come here and join us and encourage us and enrich us. So we are grateful to you all. But now time is our turn. Our turn is to prove ourselves. I believe these young minds, the young teachers, the young students, the young researchers, you will return the initiative by doing research, publishing your research, and thereby increasing our status, our pride, our contributions for human being, for civilization, for economy, and especially for our dear Daffodil International University. I believe that you will continue to do it and enrich our Daffodil International University as you did in the past. There is no doubt about it. You have proved yourself, and you will have to prove again to enrich this center. And we all believe that you will do it, definitely. So I especially thank in our journey to development, to our Honorable Chairman, Board of Trustees, Dr. Sabur Khan. He is not with us today, but he always encouraged us for such new initiatives by advice, by participation, by funding. And I hope we'll get some fund from Board of Trustees for developing this center. Also, I would like to request our Chinese friends. Traditionally, you have good cooperation with Bangladesh. We have seen it in the ancient time, recent times, and we hope we will continue to cooperate and we can send our teachers, students for Chinese universities, and in exchange, we can take their students and teachers for exchange programs, which we have been doing so far from the beginning of the university. I think this center will increase this cooperation between the two countries. So with these few words, I especially thank the Dean of Faculty of our Business Studies, Professor Masum Iqbal, who took a great initiative to set up this center. So I thank him from my heart for his efforts and his team. Dear colleagues from this faculty, I believe that you will continue to work as you did before and enrich this area of knowledge for us and for humanity. With these few words, I again thank you, dear friends, dignitaries from Bangladesh and international countries, for joining us, for your time, and for your advice. Thank you so much. May God bless you all.
Thank you so much, sir, for your warming vote of thanks. It's my honor to mention that with your patience and enthusiasm, our university is progressively carving on its way of internationalization. Thank you once again. So with the speech of our Honorable Vice-Chancellor, sir, I would like to declare that our formal part of this occasion is over. But before starting the cultural part, I would like to call upon our Honorable Vice-Chancellor to hand over the crest to our chief guest and all the other token of appreciation, the crest of other guests. Our respected, our respective volunteer team will reach you and hand over to you. So since due to the time limit, actually, we are now just hand over this crest of our honorable chief guest. I'm calling upon our Vice-Chancellor, sir, to yes. So now I would like to call all the members of our DIUBRRC, Daffodil International University, Belt and Road Research Center, all the team members come up on the stage and join us. Yes, she's coming. All the members, please join us. Okay. No, not you guys, not you guys. Not the student, only the members of DIUBRRC. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So now at this time, I would like to call all the guests to sit in the front row since we're going to clear the stage. So volunteer team, please make sure you guys are making these things ready for the guests coming in. So now I would like to call our Israt Khan Manhal, right, to perform a traditional Bengali dance. At this event, like cultural event, we'll have two different performances in the context of Bangladesh and China. So now I would like to call our team to perform Bengali dance. Go. Hello. Thank you, Israel. Thank you for your eye-setting performance. Now it's time to invite Ryan and Itu for a group song performance. Ryan and Itu.
Hello. 要相信，相信奥运树上图画故事里，幸福的要领出
Thank you very much. So it was a Chinese song, actually. Yeah, all right. So you got a lot of appreciation from them. Thank you so much. And now I would like to call Pranto to sing a Bangladeshi folk song, just in a few minutes. And then after that, we'll have a Chinese dance, then we'll be closed. Thank you very much for your patience.
Okay, so before starting this song, I would like to just request each and everyone, just sing along with me.
কাছের মানুষ দূরে থুইয়া আর মরি আমি কাছের মানুষ দূরে থুইয়া মরি আমি
It was an amazing performance. Now it's time for a traditional Chinese dance. Not traditional, actually, it's mixed and blend. So for this, I would like to invite Sharna and her team to perform over here. Sharna. This is a cultural transition, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Sharna and your team, for your amazing performance. It was absolutely amazing. And within just 2 days' work, and they did it. And it was really surprising to see them within just only 2 days' practice, they make it happen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So with this performance, I would like to declare that our cultural party is over. Now, I would like to take request to everyone to pay a visit to our center for cake and lace cutting ceremony. Volunteer team, take our gaze towards the center. Take our gaze toward the center. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming. All the member of DIUBRRC, please, just go along with us.
Please, now it is your turn. Chinese guest. Dean must be Dean must be come to the side. Hey, Juel, try and give me your. It's okay. Just hold it.
No, we told native projects.
All right. So, ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে স্যার পরে কেটে দিও আর দরকার নেই
ছবি তোলা হয়ে গেছে আমরা সরে গেলাম
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার স্যার একটু এক্সপ্লোর করতে পারেন স্যার একটু এক্সপ্লোর
এটা কি আপনার কি সেন্টার বলছেন এইটাই সেন্টার মানে দিস ইজ ইওর রুম এখানে ফার্নিচার টার্নিচার দিয়ে আপনার বসার ব্যবস্থা আপনার কিছু আছে পড়ার ব্যবস্থা এসব
এখানে ওয়ার্ক স্টেশন আছে জি জি ওয়ার্ক স্টেশন
It will be developed further.
কিছু এখন একটা 2-3টা বুকশেলফ লাগবে
সবকিছু আনা হবে Center. Okay. So this is just the opening day. It will be decorated.
এটা অনেকদিন বন্ধ ছিল
You will come and good decoration.
Very still. ওষুধ বন্ধ করতে
So we just want to hear some few words from our honorable, cultural counselor. Who came all the way from China and Chinese embassy to Bangladesh. So just to share his feelings about this center, regarding this upgrading stuff like Chinese culture and so on. So I think you fill it out, right? So our students, they did it by themselves. It's not something we bought it from the market. They did it by themselves. They make it up. So it's all these things like the restless word since last week. They did everything. So I really
the decoration. They created all those paperwork by themselves. Excellent.
So would you like to share some words? Yeah.
Actually, this is it's working. Yeah. Actually, this is something I didn't expect before I came. I was really deeply impressed by the atmosphere and also all the decoration. Just now, I also see some decoration with Chinese characteristics, and I think maybe because before I came here, I have no idea about what it's like. So now we have some general idea, and I hope in the future, next time when I come, maybe we can donate some good decorations with some Chinese character, just like Chinese logo.
Thank you very much.
Some books, some books and some other things. Yeah, this is a surprise and also deeply impressed. Very, very good. Congratulations again. Yeah, hope we can do something together in the future. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
You take it as your home, right? You take it as your home. Yeah, I will facilitate and everything needed, right?
Yeah, wonderful.
One suggestion: this place needs a lot of reading material.
Yeah.
For the research on BRI. I think the Chinese embassy
can help.
Rightly placed to help with all these kind of books, mainly in English, of course. If there are any in Bangla, good, but also some in Chinese, maybe. Thank you.
Great.
In fact, we are having a very big team, and a good number of students are joining in this team, right? And all these students, all these activities are done by our students, and usually they are here, right? So we want to disseminate this idea to our students as well, not only to the teachers, right? So if you're getting some books and materials relating to BRI, probably it will be useful for them.
Not just BRI, Chinese history, Chinese economy, politics, and also BRI, particularly BRI.
Some keywords, please.
Okay. Just a few words about this. We need your suggestion to further improvement.
I think it is a good start in Bangladesh. And day by day, as we are the part of the world, day by day, world is changing. World is not in a fixed position. So we have to learn so many things. So many contradictions will be developed in near future. And we have to adapt with those contradictions within our knowledge, within our capacity. And we think that China will be the #1 player in the world.
Already is.
So if we will be able to adapt with the Chinese intellectuals or Chinese creativity or Chinese technology, it will be better for our younger generations as well as for our country. We think, you see, world is going ahead with the, I want to say, fourth industrial revolution. Fourth industrial revolution means auto system. Everything will be auto. So I think this, I want to just, this project center will contribute so many things for auto systems in our country, taking a lesson from China.
Thank you. Yes,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Madhu, you'll be happy to know that. So we're having innovation lab, right, in our university.
We'll have a
So
meeting.
since code industry revolution, you as you have mentioned that, so we'll try to disseminate this understanding to our students as well.
Okay. Well, I would like to thank our honored guests for coming up to this point and opening the center. So today is the day one of the center. I believe and I invite you that when you visit us next time, this day after 1 year, you will see well decorated with a lot of books, equipment, and other displays.
And I wish we could do make some contributions too.
Thank you very much. Our honorable Chinese guest, Cultural Center, will contribute us, and I believe you should be our #1 partner in this.
Yes. So, Mother, Chinese corner, sir. Chinese corner.
Chinese corner. Yeah, we have some Chinese corner.
Yeah, we are going to have a Chinese corner here.
And also, embassy try to promote to establish some Chinese corner too in some university. The first one is in Saharaja University. This is the new thing, right? But we are promote more maybe. Yeah, we can consider work together in the future. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Go for lunch. এবার ছবি তুললাম কলেজের সাথে ছবি তুলে তার প্রথম হচ্ছে ফ্যাকাল্টিদের সাথে ছবি তুলে তারপর আমাদের এই ছাত্রছাত্রীদের সাথে যারা আচ্ছা
সিঁড়িতে উঠাবো এটা ভালো Okay, so this time after this section, after having a little explore, I would like to request our guests just walk away. I would like to request our guests to just walk away.
Just have a look, sir.
Just have a look around the center. And then we'll have a group photo outside, and after that we'll directly go for the lunch. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, leave. Actually,
কাটবো না আমি পুরোটাই কাটতে চাচ্ছি পুরোটা